Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome episode of Power Hour, starring Giles Tiger Thomas, and over here in Boston, me, Ron Harris, and from the UK, Giles Thomas. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, mate. Started my peptides today because I went for my shoulder appointment yesterday, and they're saying, look, you are going to need surgery because it's just not going to get better by itself. So the surgery might be at the end of November. So I thought, right, I've got some of these peptides at home. So I started on today. So I'm hoping if there's any improvement, because I haven't got a lot of pain at the moment. It's just I can't train it or train my chest. So I'm just fingers crossed I get some improvement because I would really like to avoid surgery because I thought it was like a 6-week recovery. And he said, no, it'll be like twice as long as your heart surgery, like months. Yeah. And I'm like, and I can't drive for weeks. And I'm like, oh, shit. And there's no guarantee it's even going to get better, like much, much better, like perfect again. So I'm just weighing up my odds at the moment and just trying to maybe see if these peptides will do any good. So I've been site injecting some this morning, and you know, right in the old Haddy side delts, and yeah, to try and get it fixed.
Well, if I see some lack of stripiness in your delts, Charles, I'm going to call you out on it. It's only fair.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think the comeback's definitely off this year.
Fair enough. So, guys, before we get started talking about Texas Pro, please subscribe, like, share, ring that bell. All right, Texas Pro, the big name. We have to start with the big guy. Let's do this. So we thought it was going to be. We still think it's going to be. I don't want to say easy victory. I don't want to make it sound like nobody has a chance. But Andrew Jack he's 5th in the world. He's one of the very best bodybuilders in the world, and he's won this show 2 years running. This would be possibly a 3rd win in a row. We've looked at the lineup, and I don't think he necessarily scared a lot of people away, but I was surprised I didn't see a couple more bigger names on there. Do you think people were sort of reticent to throw their hat in the ring against Andrew Jack? Oh, you're on a little bit of delay there, Tiger.
I think so. Yeah, actually, I do. Okay. No, I do. I think there might be a case of that because, I mean, to be honest, mate, everyone's fighting for second place in this show. I'm sorry to say it, but I mean, what I saw of Andrew when I was training in that gym, he was training with Bonac and Ulysses, was it 3 weeks ago in Amsterdam? I mean, it just blew my mind what I was seeing then. I mean, he was training in a vest and he just looked absolutely colossal. He's bigger. He's a lot bigger this year. He was in good condition 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, I wouldn't even say this is like a guest posing for him, but I think this is going to be a really easy victory. Yeah, unfortunately, I do think it's a fight for second place. In fact, I think Andrews could potentially make top 3 at the Olympia this year. That's how much I think he's improved and how I think he's leveled up for this year.
Yeah, because what we're looking at right now is footage from the 2023 Arnold Classic. So this was over a year and a half ago, and I honestly I had sort of written off the possibility that he was going to add the mass that I thought he needed because, well, the guy's pushing 40. I know he hasn't been competing very long, but you typically don't see guys close to 40 adding substantial mass, but he's done it. I got to give him a lot of credit because the bigger you get, the harder it becomes to put any additional mass on. And when you confirmed, let's go to his Instagram, when you confirmed that what the pictures I saw were not photoshopped, were not doctored in any way, he really has added this new mass. I give it up to this guy. I don't argue with you one minute about the possibility of him breaking top 3 this year. I know that was it. I think that was in the gym. That was in the gym in Amsterdam. I was in the background training arms. Yeah. But hey, do you know? Funny enough, do you see that video that I posted where Ronnie sees him? I said to Ronnie, I said, look, we're in Amsterdam at the hotel, and I said, look, Ronnie, over there, you're on the bridge. There was a big advert with Ronnie like on the bridge. And then Ronnie says, oh, look, there's Andrew. And I can't believe I didn't notice him, but it was Andrew walking under the bridge towards us. That video is at 3.3 million views. Wow. Well, rightfully so.
On my Instagram. I collaborated, I think with Olympia and Euro Muscle Show. And I checked it this morning. It's nearly at 3.4 million. And I don't even know how many likes. But yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of love out there for Ronnie and Andrew Jack. He's colossal. That is a
330-pound gold-plated dumbbell, by the way. He's doing some rows with.
Easy.
Well, 150 kg
wow.
is not. Yeah, 150 kg is about 330 pounds, I think, right? Yeah.
How can you pick that up?
I don't know if I could even roll it across the ground with all my effort. I don't think I could. So just Andrew has, look at that. I mean, this is a great shot, right? He's added.
I think he was only one off season away from really moving up, and he didn't have a chance to have an off season from when he turned pro, but he's had one now, and I'm telling you, it's definitely benefited him because he has been working hard and he's definitely put some size on. I think if he comes in, you know, like say 7, 8, 10 pound heavier, I'm telling you, I think he's I think he could even move past Nick Walker and Samson potentially at the Olympia this year. I think it's going to be between them three for third place. Yeah,
I mean, anyone who says that's impossible, come on now, it's not. You never know what's going to happen at the Olympia, guys. So let's not that screen. Okay, so who is brave enough? Who dares to stand next to Andrew Jack? Let's take a look at these brave souls, brave souls out there. So we're looking at Jordan Hutchinson, who has had a really good past couple weeks. 5th place at the Chicago Pro, all the way up to 3rd place at the Tampa Pro. And I don't think, you know, I was familiar with the name. If you said, I would never have said, no, I don't know who that is, but wasn't a guy it was on my radar for like first call outs at the shows, but here he goes. So what you must have some opinion of Jordan at this point.
Yeah, I think he's really good. I interviewed him last year for Global, and he's done really well, 5th and 3rd, because it said in Tampa he was like looking at 9th place at the start, and then he fought his way up to 5th place. But I like him. He's got good symmetry, good condition. He's steadily improving. He brings good, very polished, nice symmetry. I think he's really, really good. I would not be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if he took 2nd place here. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, we have Andrew as a lock for 1st, but after that, I think it's kind of wide open for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I think any number of guys could get that. Here's another one. Here's another guy that's got potential. Former 212 New York Pro champ, Nathan Epler. Yeah, Nathan got 4th place in Chicago, which was a pretty tough show, as we know. Foda won that. But he's added so much size since 212. And, you know, I've said on the last one, and it wasn't meant as any sort of slight. I wasn't a huge fan of him as a 212 competitor. I said the same thing about Jewett because I just felt their frame would look a lot better filled out. And he's done that. He took the time and he came back with the needed size. And the condition is never an issue with this guy. Always in shape.
I think actually I'm going to change my mind. I think he's my pick for 2nd. I just think he's a little bit more complete, and I think he's a little better from the back than Jordan is. So I really, really rate Nathan. And there's another one I was nervous about moving up to open, but he's done really, really well. So fair play to him. So yeah, I think he's fantastic. I really do, and he's brought his arms up as well, which has really helped to improve his symmetry. Yeah,
you know, as someone with shit arms, I'm extra critical of guys with shit arms. Isn't that ironic? But his arms were never shit. Let me take that back. He never had bad arms. They just weren't as good as they needed to be because you're up against some guys with freakish arm development at this level. So let's go to Let's go to the UK for our next competitor. That very, very strong possibility of a top 5 because he just got top 5 again. Talking about Lewis Breed. Let's bring him up. I could not find any Gilco footage anywhere of this guy, and that really bothers me because I love the Gilco footage. So we got him on screen now? Yeah. Yeah, so here we go. That was actually last year. I think he's improved. He looks better this year.
He's bigger.
There's Tampa.
Yeah.
Lewis, next time you got to burn some of that Gilco footage. You got to find it somehow, some way. Look at that. Well, there's a good shot. There's Tampa right there. And boy, I don't think he could be too much more conditioned than that. That's that dry, grainy look that we just love to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I think he's a lot. I'd probably put him in about 4th place, but he's definitely bigger, thicker, and he's still. I mean, the waist looks a little bit thicker for the sake of the added mass, but. I mean, you can't argue with that kind of Branch Warren type conditioning and density and graininess because he's kind of making the best of what he's got really by just basically just getting bigger and thicker and freakier and drier and harder and denser. But I kind of like these kinds of physiques anyway. I think they're always going to do well because they tick every box pretty much. Doesn't have the nicest V taper or the kind of craziest kind of a pretty shape, but in terms of hard, grainy, dry mass. I mean, he's certainly ticking those boxes.
Yeah, that's a good comparison with Branch Warren, because Branch wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing physique either, but Branch Warren was second place at the Olympia back in 2009, and he won the Arnold Classic 2 years in a row. So, sometimes you don't have to be the prettiest guy if you have enough freakish mass and your condition is really great, unless you have horrible shape, and he does not. So let's move on to another European superstar. Talk about Anthony Jehl from France.
God. Yeah, how many shows has he done now in his rookie season?
So this is what I got so far. 5th place at the Mr. Big Evolution Portugal, 5th place at the Empro Classic in Spain, and 4th place at the Flex Pro Weekend in Italy. So this will be 4 shows in the span of about 2 months for this guy. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was chatting to him backstage in bloody Spain back in May. Was it May? No, June, wasn't it? It was June. In June. And he's really impressive up close, mind. He really is. I didn't recognize him at first because I didn't realize it was the same guy who guest posed at the Sweden show back in April. But yeah, he's well put together. He's I like the fact that he's doing plenty of shows in his first season as well. And yeah, so it's funny because Bodybuilders Without Borders said he tagged me into a post about Anthony and said Giles gave him the nickname the Big Cheese. And I went below and I said, no, actually I gave that to Theo, not to Anthony.
Right.
So
I can actually remember it. Le Grand Fromage.
Yeah, Le Grand Fromage. Yeah, but and then Anthony comes on and he says I'm not keen on that nickname. And I says, mate, it wasn't me that gave it to you, mate. It was I gave it to somebody else. Well, but he's very good. He's very conditioned, and to nail it that many times and to get some good top 5s. I mean, that's a really, really successful rookie season. That.
It's ironic that I can say that phrase in French, but I can't for the life of me pronounce that guy's name still. Le Guerrier. He says it in a way I don't think he says it correctly. It's like Le Guerrier. No, it's weird. It's very strange. I'll never be able to do it. So
what is it with these French guys? I think they're swimming in the Seine and they're getting all the mutations from all the dirty water.
Well, they were supposed to clean that river up. I don't know how you clean up a river.
They spent millions, didn't they, trying to clean it up, and everyone's throwing up and getting E. coli and all the horrible diseases. All the triathletes from swimming in all the Olympic athletes swimming in the Seine.
I can see you can clean up a still body of water like a lake or a pond. How do you clean a river that's flowing? It doesn't even make sense. Anyway, let's move on.
Have you seen that French shark film on Netflix?
Underwater, these under Paris.
Yeah, it's good. I liked it.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm glad you said that because I was saving that for if I really had nothing to watch. I'll watch that.
It's good. You'll enjoy it. Me and Laura really enjoyed it. It's really, really good. Okay, highest viewed non-English speaking film on Netflix apparently for this year.
Fair enough. I'll give it a look. Okay, so you let me know a couple guys from UK to watch out for the show. So this was Carlos Philbrick. And he won a certain show that will live on forever in the memories of Giles Thomas. The Irish Incident. Was it the Ireland Pro? Was the name of the show?
No, the Muscle Contest Ireland show. It was last year, 2023, not 22. I didn't attend the 23 one. I think I was too scared still. PTSD. But yeah, Carlos, he's kind of part of the GASP team. He lives back and forth between Sweden because he's in a relationship with a girl that works for GASP. Called Antonia, and yeah, this is his pro debut because I saw him. He asked me to take a look at him in a gym in Sweden back in April when I was doing the live stream commentary for the NPC Sweden for GASP. And he said, "Can you have a look at me?" And I couldn't believe how much size he put on. He looked really, really good. I mean, he was proper. I think he was, I hadn't even started his prep at this point, but he looked absolutely massive. In fact, the only thing I said he needed to do was bring his back up. And I said, why don't you try and do a Jay Cutler and do two back sessions, one for width, one for thickness? I said, because that really worked for Jay. I said, so he was asking my opinion. And I said, well, to be honest, the only place I can really see any kind of I feel you're lacking is in your back. And the thing is, he was carrying a lot of body fat. And sometimes you can't see the chest and back development when they're holding a certain amount of body fat. But he looked good. I mean, he's going to do himself proud, I think. And he only turned pro last year. He's only a young guy. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see where he falls. I mean, if he gets like a top 10 or a top 8 or something like that, I think that's going to be a good first season. And he's got good condition, as you can see. Yeah. And really hardworking guy. And
you can tell by the green floor there, it's MI40 gym, of course.
Yeah. Of course.
I have been informed that there are not one but two powerhouse gyms in Tampa. We love you, Ben Pekulski, but I don't want the other gym owners to feel like I'm steering people toward only your gym. There's other gyms there. So I want to look at one last guy in the open from the UK. Because, Giles, I know you've never done anything for UK bodybuilding, so it's about time you started. Oh, I'm just kidding. So the last guy.
Oh, yeah.
That was the whole.
So I keep hearing.
I almost spat out my protein shake when I heard that. So this is Nathan Styles from UK. I'm not really familiar with him. When was this? This was posted today. So this was this morning, guys. Here's how he's looking. He's got some. Do you see the print on his underwear, Tiger?
Oh, nice.
Tiger. I'm assuming you have a few of those pair, right? You should.
If I'm still competing, maybe.
Condition looks on point. This guy's ready.
Yeah, he's big dude, really big guy.
Tough lineup. I wish him the best. I wish everyone the best, even Andrew, even though Andrew doesn't need necessarily any good luck wishes or anything. I think Andrew's all set. But yeah, good luck, Nathan. Let's move on. So let's look at some other divisions now. Stop that screen. Okay, so 212 division. Now we've talked about people. Once you get your Olympia qualification, you need to stop competing until Olympia. How dare you do any more shows? Well, Jordan Janowitz says, nah, I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. Here's his winning routine at Tampa. So this guy in the corner here, I don't know his name, Jose. So he was streaming the show at the same time the live stream was on, which, you know, not supposed to do that. That's fine. But maybe in another clip, you'll see he spent most of the 212 division eating, and here we go drinking. But I would have like shut my camera off while I was eating, because I look goofy enough just standing there talking, but to be eating, you can't see it. But I thank him for I guess pirating the stream so I could take this video clip for him. But Jordan Janowitz, let's get back to him. Great win for Jordan. He was up against guys like David Henry, who that's an Olympia champion, and he's come into his own. Jordan, you called this win last week, Tiger. Do you remember that? You called it.
Yeah.
Mystic Tiger.
I've seen him sharper though. I have. I've seen him much sharper than this. I mean, his condition is next level, but it doesn't look next level in this video. Maybe it's just the quality of the video. But so maybe he might be even sharper again. And you know what a win does for these guys? It kind of gives them especially when they know they're going to do another show and they're already going in on a win. It kind of it kind of really motivates them to kind of come in even sharper. So it'd be interesting to see if he can improve upon his look in Tampa. It should be interesting.
I think I have some evidence that he is sharper. That was. When people are pirating footage like that, it's like a copy of a copy, and you lose resolution. Yeah. The stream never looks as good as, you guessed it, Gilco footage. Here he is in the Gilco.
Oh, that's more like it. That's more like it.
See the difference, guys, with just the quality of the footage, condition. The condition becomes so much more apparent. I still think I have seen him. I agree with you. Even looking at this, I have seen him sharper than this.
Yeah.
Well, it looks pretty damn good, but I suspect
good enough to win.
He's good enough to. It was good enough to win. I think it's going to be good enough to win in Texas as well. He looks really great.
Yeah.
So good job. But he's not the only one competing. Let's go to young man, very young man. We met him when he was like a puppy. Talking about Francisco Barrios. Is it Vik? I think it's a VLK. I can never tell if it's an I or an L. I just keep calling him. Is it a V?
No, VLK, yeah. Vuk.
So Vuk? I feel like there's a vowel missing. Vuk. Yeah. So I saw
probably is.
This was from New York Pro, where he took third behind Ola Krive and Kareth Baggio. Very strong third place. He's improved so much since we met him years ago it was the Arnold Amateur we met him, right? I think. Or was it the Olympia Amateur?
No, the Olympia Amateur. Yeah. Back in 2019, was it? 19 or 17?
Yeah, he must have been like 12 years old. But because he can't be more than like 20. He's got to be still like around no more than 25, 26 at this point.
Yeah, I would say about 25, 26, yeah.
And I think Patrick Tour has been his coach the whole time. And they've been a great team together.
Yeah. Do you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if he beat Jordan, because he's really, really good. And he's been in condition for a long time. I mean, the condition in his legs, even like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, looked contest ready then. And he's a very, very, very young, hungry, driven athlete. And it's not a foregone conclusion that Jordan will win this, because I think I really rate Francisco, and I'd love to see him get a win as well and get to the Olympia, because I know how much that would mean to him and Patrick.
Right. And, you know, playing devil's advocate here, Jordan's already got his Olympia qualification. If I'm a judge, and I'm not a judge, and I don't know how judges think, but if I was a judge and these two were just neck and neck, like you could flip a coin, I'm giving it to Francisco. That's me. Yeah. If it ever came down to they were that close where I couldn't make up my mind. Yeah. So let's hope he gets it. No, nothing against Mr. Janowitz. Nothing against him. A great competitor, but I'd love to see Francisco up there. All right.
Have you seen something that's quite, sorry to interject, something that's quite unusual? There's not a huge amount of guys qualified for the Open Olympia this year. I think because if Barros and Nathan can't get there, I think it's still, at the moment, it's only about 14 guys. Now, it's probably likely that Andrew Jack and Hunter are going to qualify, which would still only bring, and of course, got the UK show as well. Yeah. So, I mean, at 16, 17, I mean, that's a bit of a, that's a drop in like 50% from where it was a couple of years ago. Personally, I like to see at least 20 guys up there, at least in the Open.
Not me. I'm like, let's get the hell out of here. So,
really? Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it's, if you consider the Olympia the elite of the elite, it shouldn't be more than 15 to 17 guys. That's just my opinion. Because do you really have, once you get to the past 20, 25, are there really 25 super incredible elite pro bodybuilders in the world that, you know, all could win? I think if you're in the Olympia, you should at least have the potential to possibly someday win the Olympia. Like, you should be at that level. I don't know. It's really, and then everyone else is going to be like, Ron, you asshole. Let everybody compete. Well, you know, I don't make the rules. Yeah.
We'll personally, I'd like to see around about 20, 22, 23.
Right, 20.
But then the thing is that it's like, I mean, like Nathan and Barros, is it likely that they're going to get to the Olympia? Highly unlikely. In fact, I think Nathan already told me last week, he said he's already on his off season now. Wow. So, you know, and he's not going to go and do Italy. I asked him if he was going to go and do Italy, because he told me last year he wanted to go to Italy and beat Hunter, and then go to Texas and beat Hunter in his own backyard, because he thought Hunter was doing Texas. So, but obviously neither of those things are happening now. It's just going to be, we shut it down now till, he said, the 3 Arnold Classics next year.
I feel like Andrew's just going to do Texas every year, though. So even Hunter wouldn't really be allowed. It seems like that's his game plan. No, Texas Olympia. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. I really am rooting for Andrew to move up this year. I think he's because the thing is, he's never really brought his best 2 times. When he got 8th and 5th, in 22 and 23, he's still not brought his best to the Olympia. So if he turns up absolutely bang on with some new size, which I think I saw it in that gym the other week in Amsterdam, I think he could. Like I said, I think it's going to be a battle between him, Nick, and Samson for 3rd. But don't be shocked if Samson takes 3rd this year, because I think Derek and Hadi still going to be the top 2 either way. But I think I'm more excited about who's going to be 3rd, and I think it's between those 3 guys.
Fair enough. Now, I don't think Andrew's ever beaten Samson yet, right?
No, I don't think so.
And that would be something. That would if he manages to do that this year, that would make a real statement for him, because Samson's like the heir to the throne after Hadi, and you know he's the 3rd place guy. And he's
do you remember what I said last year? Do you remember what I said last year? I said if Samson can just stay ahead of Andrew Jack, he's going to do very, very well. Because I always felt like Samson was really nipping at his. Sorry, Andrew was really nipping at his heels, and I said if you can just do enough to stay ahead of him, you'll keep moving up and up and up, because that's the guy I always felt that was really like closest to him. And you know, whose careers were kind of just, you know, like doing that quite almost like parallel to each other. Right. So if Samson could just do enough just to stay ahead of someone like Andrew, who's who's really improving, I think he's gonna continue, you know, to either rise or hold on to the position he's on, which he's in, which is basically top 3 in the world right now.
Yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. I want to mention one more 212 competitor, because he was runner-up in Tampa. And I had never heard of him, but he's from the U.S., from Jacksonville, where Dexter Jackson. Oh, so here's the guy in the corner eating. I told you. So He was eating the whole time. Marcus Costa, again, this guy is phenomenal for someone I'd never, ever heard of. Just beautiful shape, symmetry, condition. The color, tan matters, guys. It really does.
When did he turn pro?
I don't know. I haven't done any research on him, but he beat Dave Henry, and Dave Henry wasn't too far off his best. So good job, Marcus.
Dave Henry looked good, really good.
Yeah, I mean the fact that Dave Henry is, I don't know if he's 49 or 50. Clayhar I talked to, he's 50 now. Dave Henry can't be far off. To like you said, to not be losing any fullness at this point, at that age, after so many years up there, it's very unusual. Usually you see them have sort of deflated look toward the later years of their career. Things just aren't popping anymore. Yeah, well, yeah, you and I both experienced that. So that is Marcus Costa. Let's move on to Classic, because Classic has some big names, and this is the first guy I want to show. This was back when he won the Arnold Classic in 2020. Alex Cambronero, who is our reigning Masters Olympia Classic Physique champion. He won that last year in Romania. And I was surprised to see him on the list. I didn't know if he was coming back, but he's not done with open shows, open classic shows. What is what I mean by that? And yeah, I'll try to get. I'm gonna go to some current pictures of him to show you. Because this was 4 years ago, and you could say, well, that was 4 years ago. Maybe he's fallen off since then. Let me find him for you. That's Feo.
He looks good. Looks good. I didn't know he was competing again this year. He kind of fell off the radar since he won the Masters Olympia, you know. But yeah, it's good to see him. Obviously he's gunning to go and do the Olympia. Because the thing is, obviously winning the Masters Olympia would have qualified him for the Mr. Olympia last year, so he has to do this show to qualify. So yeah,
that's right.
I like Alex. I've interviewed him a few times. Cool guy.
And I felt, you know, maybe he was one of those guys where the classic division has maybe outgrown him as he's passed. They're looking at these different types, the taller physiques, the younger guys. But I think I haven't talked to him. I think he wants to prove a point that he's still relevant. He's still one of the very best. And, you know, don't count me out yet. I'm not done. I still have some gas left in the tank. Do
you think he's top 6 Olympia this year?
There's about 30 guys I think are top 6 in the classic.
Yeah. Even to be top 10, that's going to be an achievement this year.
Yeah, you know, because every time somebody wins a show that's classic, we have like every year, not just one. I'd say there's anywhere between 3 to 5 guys every year that sort of break out and show phenomenal potential because it's still a young division.
Yeah.
It's still a division where you have new people popping up every few shows that are just phenomenal. I try to. Oh, there's his puppy. Oh, look at that. Extra points for having a cute dog. Yeah. There he was with C-Bum in a very blurry picture. All right, let's move on. Okay, so let's go on to some other contenders all the way from Hungary. This is Laszlo Kiraly. And the footage you'll see, this was the judging, the lighting. When the lighting changes, I think you weren't at this show. This was a Charoux Classic somewhere.
Italy.
Okay. I assume he won.
Yep, he won that one.
It was last year. Were you at a show? You were at a show where he won also, weren't you? A different show?
No.
So where did you see him compete? Do you remember?
I've not seen him. I don't think I've seen him compete in the flesh personally.
Okay.
Not yet. So, because remember, I wrote the article in last year, and I had him on Global a few times. Yeah. Well, I spoke to Patrick the other day, and I said, I didn't realize Laszlo was competing. And he said, yeah, he's lost his luggage. He hasn't slept for 30 hours. He's not going. I don't think he's going to look as good as he could do. This is, we're just trying to like damage limitation at the moment. So I don't know what was. When I looked in the video, the photo, and I thought, well, you can still pull it round once you get there, and you can, get a few days. I don't know. It's maybe he just wasn't as good as he was. I don't know. Maybe they're making excuse. I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes you think maybe they're making excuses, or maybe he wasn't coming in as he planned, and then this happened, and it's like it's a convenient excuse. I don't know. Maybe I'm hopeful that he can still, sort of dry out and peak, because sometimes people travel and so what, they lose the luggage and they don't sleep or whatever like that. You can still the physique sometimes can still look absolutely fine even if you feel like shit, Yeah. So let's see, because Laszlo is very, very impressive, and yeah, he's really, really good, and I think he'll give Alex a push if he's in shape.
So again, this is why I feel like a lot of a lot of European athletes, they're extra brave because you're taking that chance where you're traveling. Flights don't always go on time. Flights get delayed, canceled. You know, this is something, if you're a guy living in Florida, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just boop, 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 take your little drive over to compete and you're good. You don't have to worry about your luggage being lost and all that stress. And maybe you had a bunch of meals on there and now you don't have your proper food, things like that. So props to these guys from Europe, especially the ones who keep coming over here. It can't be easy. Or Brazil, which brings us to our next guy. This was your runner-up from Brazil, Gabriel Zancanelli. He was runner-up in Tampa. And this guy's got a great physique package right there. Beautiful shape, symmetry, color. And I guess Miguel Chain let us know he's already qualified. He won another show.
Oh, good.
I don't know if it was in Brazil or he's already qualified for the Olympia. But he wants to get in front of the American judges, the American fans' eyes, make a name for himself in this division. I think he's already doing that. I heard a lot of people on the chats and in the social media posts talking about this guy.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, a lot of people reckon he should have won in Tampa, but the thing is, it's kind of like what I really categorize as a proper classic physique. I mean, he's got a really, really nice shape, nice conditioning. Everything flows. He's got nice, he's got some nice classic poses there. So, I mean, he's absolutely going to be a front runner. So he's going to push Alex, and I think that's likely to be the top three actually.
Yeah, him,
Laszlo, and Alex.
And just to show the difference one more time, this is the same routine, but now we're looking at Gilco footage. What a difference! What a difference it makes.
That's great.
Gilco. Yeah, sometimes I use their still, because Mitchell Gilbert, one of the brothers, he does still photography at the shows too. He's really good. He's up there with, I'd say, with Will Whitman and Jonathan Moreau in terms of skill level.
Yep.
And
totally right.
Says tag me or I block you. So I always try to either tag him or
tag me or I block you. Is that what he said?
Because people are stealing his footage and his pictures constantly. I get it.
Yeah, I think it pisses you off when you're a photographer. I've been a photographer and a videographer, and when they steal your stuff and they take clips from it, they don't credit you. It is really annoying actually, because that's basically what you do for a living,
Exactly.
And that's your craft, and people are using it and they're kind of benefiting from it. And so you should, just common courtesy, you should always tag them. So put in brackets, video courtesy or buy or something like that, and always try and find out who they are and tag them, because it's just common courtesy.
Exactly. So
yeah.
all you content creators out there, I hope you took note of that. So here was the third place guy, Dancovea Anderson. I've seen him a few times, and what a beautiful shape and symmetry this guy's got. Just flowing lines. He reminds me of Ruffin. He reminds me of who's the other guy? Courage Opera in a way. Just pretty shape. Condition. I'm going to try to find some better footage, because again, this is like copy of a copy when you're looking at the pirated stuff. He is the Black Panther or something like that. Or
I'm sure I interviewed him back in 2020 with AJ in season 1 of Global, and I haven't seen him for a couple of years actually. Yeah. Good to see him still competing.
Yeah, let's go to. I just going to go to his Instagram page because it's much better resolution. Look at that. So now you can see the difference.
Nice. That's a nice classic physique, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. And the condition looks so much better here. So here we go. Gilco Productions, guys. Follow Gilco Productions. They do a hell of a job. This guy, I feel like if he filled out a little bit more, just a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know how much close he is to the limit, actually.
Yeah, I would bet you decent amount of money. He could put a few pounds on and still make weight.
He knows how to pose as well. Knows how to pose his physique in a classic way as well. I always like that. That's very Terrence Ruffin. Yeah,
I've avoided speaking poorly about some of the guys we've gone. A couple guys we've shown weren't the greatest posers, but I'm going to let them slide this week. What the heck? Why not? All right, so that was Dancovea. A couple other guys. Just a couple more other guys to round out, because the classic, I didn't count, but it looked like there was over 40 guys in the open classic here. Here's one. This is Austin Espy. I just want to show this because people say, well, tan doesn't really matter that much, right? Hang on. I'll show you that it does. So that was Chicago on the left the week before, and then Tampa on the right. He had a better he looks so much better with the better color.
Hang on.
Yeah.
That lighting looks a bit dodgy on the right. I don't think that's that. I think that's more to do with lighting than tan. Look at that, because even the background, even the backdrop looks washed out like he does on the right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, see, it's the lighting.
If you read in his caption, he does say, "I think the most obvious thing is the difference in my tan from Chicago left and Tampa right."
It's the lighting. That's the lighting. Yeah. I would say that's 80% lighting, 20% tan.
I would have gone like 78 and 22, but whatever. Always rip on me when I do those stupid numbers. But yeah, Austin's got a great classic physique. He was third in Chicago. Yeah, third in Chicago. Dropped down again. I think it was the lighting wasn't as great, but I think his tan cost him. He also admits here his confidence level was not as high in Tampa because it was a stronger lineup. And, he's a newer guy. Oh, there's some Gilco footage. I love the Gilco
his tan is a bit looks like needs another coat or two, doesn't he?
Dodgy tan.
It's good though. Condition's good.
This is great. I love Gilco when they do the handheld stuff like that. It's a 2-camera. They do what we call 2-camera shoots. They have one stationary camera on a tripod, and then there's another one of the brothers that goes around with a camera on stage and around and gets.
I bet he does some steps in the day of a show.
Yeah.
Running back and forth behind the judges. I bet that annoys people as well, the spectators. But they're getting good footage. That's what they do. So I've seen them working. I've seen them working, going back and forth.
Oh, those guys are great. But I remember shows where some of the camera guys, the handheld camera guys, they were kind of out of shape and they were like drenched in sweat, like their shirts were dripping by the end. It was like almost embarrassing. Got one last guy to talk about in the show. I can't forget, all the way from. Is it Austria or Germany? I'm going to piss off whichever country I didn't just credit. Alexander Westermeier. I don't know. He's got a Rammstein song. Could be either one.
Nice.
Yeah, he's another one to watch. Great physique. He's won shows before.
Yep, been to Olympia.
So, I'm not writing this guy off. I believe he'll probably be first call out. Everybody falls off at a show or two. We're quick to write off. Oh, this was a long time ago. We're quick to write off. At least I am. If somebody does poorly at one show, I'm like, but then they can bounce right back, especially if it's a conditioning or fullness issue. That's something that can be changed very, very quickly within a matter of a couple of weeks. So Westermeier.
Totally agree.
Again, not the biggest guy. I think he could fill out as well. I doubt he is at the top of his weight cap.
Yeah, it looks like he can hold another 8 to 10 pounder before he hits the limit.
Looks like a young guy. All right, so let's get him out of there. And so that is Tampa. I'm sorry, Tampa. Texas Pro.
Texas.
Tampa's a good show, too. Texas is happening this coming weekend. It's Friday and Saturday at the Urban Convention Center. They're breaking it up over 2 days. It's become a big, big show. And what do we got? I'm trying to find the promoter website if you guys want to check it out, especially if you're in that area. It is BattleUp. Like a battle, BattleUpProductions.com. Freddie Nadeau and his promotional partner, Sheila, they put an amazing show on. I'm going to show the website just for a second. I'm a little bummed I'm not going. I only went once, and it was spectacular.
The first year?
I went the second year, 2022.
Okay.
And, it was another Andrew Jack. I mean, they all kind of blur together, but great crowd. Gasp is right there in the Dallas area. They gave out goodie bags to every competitor that had like weight straps, I think keychains, all kinds of cool stuff. So BattleUp Productions. So if you want to get the webcast, guys, what am I calling it? Web stream, webcast, pay-per-view. That is BattleUp Productions. So check that out. Okay. Well, we have just enough time. We have enough time to go into one subject. So last weekend, Jonathan, it wasn't that. We're speaking on a Wednesday. It was only Saturday. Jonathan De La Rosa beat Muhammad Foda to win the Tampa Pro. And, Foda looked good. He looked good. Don't get me wrong, guys. But I had John winning.
Did you?
Yeah, most people had John winning. Just condition, the back shots. I think he was beating Foda in the back shots. And, I don't know if you want to say biased, but I love John. He's such a cool guy. I've known him forever. You never hear anybody speak ill of John De La Rosa. He's just the nicest guy, hard worker. Cool. And I'm sure Mo is too. I don't know Mo, but seems like a great guy too. But it happened again. So this has happened a few times over the years. Most notably, back when was it a show in Korea where Flex Lewis beat Hadi Choopan?
2017.
It was a post-Olympia show, right? I think it was a week or two.
Yeah.
And Flex Lewis got death threats from Hadi's fans. He got threats toward his family, death threats toward his family. I mean, it's horrifying. You know, this is it's just guys up there flexing in thongs, guys. It's not that big a deal. It's not life and death, war and peace. So it happened again after John beat Mo. Some of his fans started messaging him and making posts and making death threats. And, you know, both the guys, John went online, made a post and asked them, please, guys, please just, you know, leave, because they were threatening his girlfriend or his fiance, or are they married? I don't know. His partner. Let's just call her partner for now.
Stupid. It's so stupid. I mean, you do know it's the judges that place these guys. Yes. So, I mean, I'm not saying, obviously I'm not trying to divert him away and say start threatening the judges, but just stop. I mean, it's just pathetic. Yeah. Absolutely pathetic to like send death threats. So what? Death threats? What? If you win the Tampa, oh well, I've already won it, mate. So it's done. It's done and dusted. Do you know what I mean? The judges decided that he was the best. He won straight first. Mohamed Foda was straight second. So I mean, the futility of sending death threats after a show is done. I mean, that is really, to be honest, I think that is the actual definition of dumb. Of like effing dumb. I mean, such a stupid, pointless, futile thing to do, to send death threats or what? So what exactly are you threatening? If you win Tampa again and beat our guy again, well, you know, he's going to go to the Olympia and he might beat him again. So, you know, be prepared, guys. So, you know, and the thing is, it's not, I don't understand. It doesn't even make sense to me. It's just absolute madness.
I'm not going to get into religion and politics. I try to always avoid either subject. Especially as we get close to the United States presidential election in November. Don't ask me. But I'm probably not voting for anybody with my last name. Just put it that way. But it's come down to an argument where it's a lot of times guys from the Middle East, I know they've expressed, I've seen the posts where they think there's a bias against people from that, bodybuilders from that part of the world, or a bias against people of the Muslim faith. And to that, I would say, hold on. We had Big Ramy, a Muslim, a devout Muslim from Egypt, Mr. Olympia champion 2 years in a row. Next year, Hadi Choopan, another devout Muslim from Iran, a country that the U.S., believe me, if there's any country that the U.S. doesn't get along with, it's Iran. Trust me. And there we go. Well, maybe Russia. But there's no bias, guys. The judges, when they're judging these physiques in front of them, they're not worrying about, is this guy a Hindu, a Muslim, a Christian, a Jew? They don't care. They don't care what country you're from. They're purely looking at physiques. And sometimes physiques are close. It's a subjective sport. I've been at shows more than a few times. I can tell you, I could rattle off probably 6 to 8 shows off the top of my head where I didn't know. The guys were so close, first and second. I had no idea who I wanted to pick. And if it's that close for me, can you imagine how close it is for these judges who do this every weekend? So, yeah.
I wouldn't even address it if I was John. I'd just block them. I'd block. I'd literally spend an hour just blocking every single one of those idiots. And the thing is, what are they? There's probably some like 18-year-old kid in their mum's basement. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, most people, if they're sending threats, they ain't going to do shit. What are they going to do? Fly on a plane from Egypt or wherever in the Middle East, fly over to Florida. Like, I mean, come on. Like weeks after the show's happened. I mean, it doesn't. It's just it's the very, like I said, definition of idiocy. And just stupidity, because it's like, well, and the thing is, you're targeting the wrong guy because it's the judges that make the decision, not John. Do you know what I mean? John didn't place himself first, you know. It's the bloody judges. But then, like I said, I mean, I wonder I'd be interested to know if the judges get any of these kinds of, you know, threats or whatever like that, because you never hear about it. You only ever hear about it from the actual athletes like John, like Flex Lewis, you know, who. But I wouldn't even address it. I just ignore it. I just think it's. I just laugh at. I think it's easy to say, oh, I would just laugh at it when they're threatening your girlfriend and this and that. But I think sometimes you can put more fuel on the flames as well if you actually address it, because then you're giving, like, you know, if people want attention, you're giving them attention by responding. Then I don't know. In some ways, aren't you kind of just exacerbating the problem? Yeah.
Well, that you basically said, John, the day after he made his initial post, exhorting, asking these people, please stop doing that. Now he regrets even making that because it's just true. He says in this post, he commented on the Generation Iron post, you know, he's upset that they kept it going to make a news item.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's hard. It's frustrating. It's hard not to take it personally when it is personal, and it's personal against you, your partner and your wife, or whatever. But right. I don't think you can really do anything other than ignore it and just block. I mean, God, you know, just block the freaking idiots. I mean, I think is what are they? I think it's most people who make threats because that's all they can do. All they can do is make threats. Yeah. And what are they going to do? I mean, like I said, the show's done and dusted. Right. And for me, I'd be like, right, okay, it's probably good if I go and beat Muhammad again at the Olympia as well, because then that's really gonna, you know, cement the, you know, it was close. I mean, I could have gone either way. I think Muhammad looked fantastic personally, as did John. But you know, it's like Derek Lunsford. He had all that shit. He had his Instagram account taken down because that many of Hadi's fans reported his account, and it's the day after he's won the Olympia. Yeah, you know, it should be the best day of his life or second best day of his life after winning the Olympia, and he's having to deal with this kind of bullshit. It's just like, guys, get a grip. Do you know what I mean? It's you know, you're not helping yourself, you know, and it's I don't know. It must be. I feel it's frustrating for them, and I do feel for them because that is just that's really unacceptable. You know, it's and like I said, it's completely and utterly pointless.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned Derek Lunsford because he went on. Yeah. Post the same day responding to this or addressing, because he was there in the audience. Yeah. He had him up front, of course. He's Mr. Olympia, guest of honor. He said he saw John winning, and he has no bias. He likes both of these guys. And he was telling the fans, you know, it's the judges made their call. Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Suck it up.
It's over. Get on. Move on. Get over it.
And Muhammad's already qualified anyway, so what's the big deal? What do you mean?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, do you remember when 2019 Olympia, you interviewed Hadi and I interviewed Brandon Curry just as he won the Olympia. Yeah. And I remember speaking to one of Hadi's friends, and I mean, he was out there going ballistic that Hadi got third. He was really focusing on the money. He was like, do you know how much money that's worth in Iran? That two or whatever the difference was between third and first place, like $200,000. Do you know how much money that is in Iran? Do you know what he could do with that? It's like, yeah, but he's third. So suck it up. Tough shit. You know, Brandon won. Bob Bonac was second. Your guy was third. It was a pretty close top three. You know, maybe next time it'll go his way, like it did in 22. Yeah. Maybe it'll go the other guy's way. You know, it never went Brandon's way again. You know, Brandon in second and second again. So I don't even know what to say, really. It's just that freaking stupid, isn't it?
Yeah. You know,
silly.
The only positive I see is I'm glad that there are fans that are so passionate and care that deeply. Yeah, you know, I know it's misdirected.
That's pushing it, mate. Come on.
I know it's misdirected, and don't get me. I see that, but I'm glad that these bodybuilders have fans that really are that invested in them.
No, come on, Ron.
I wish they weren't. They would never take it to that level. I wish they wouldn't put any negativity toward it. I wish they wouldn't do that. But I'm glad that at least we have such dedicated fans that care, because bodybuilding is, I could see. I mean, we all see sports like people are following the Olympics, like, oh my, not this time, but people follow pro sports, you know, so closely, and they put millions and billions of dollars into them. And those people are paid hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And, you know, our sport is still always going to be small compared to those. So, yeah, I wish the fans would never turn their fanship in a negative light toward other athletes, but I'm glad we have fans, put it that way. Substantial amount of fans.
Yeah, even if they are complete idiots.
You know,
they're idiots.
Yeah, you're an idiot if you threaten someone, if you threaten someone's family.
Come on. I know. And the thing is, you're doing it by what? DM on Instagram. Right. So it's probably all people with fake accounts. I bet no one has done it from an actual account. I mean, do you know what? I think that's my new measure of whether someone's a freaking idiot or not, whether you've got fake accounts. Because I mean, I could show you now, you know, when you pop up, because I've got mine and I've got my Global Muscle Instagram account, and that's all I have. I've got no other fake accounts. I mean, there's people out there with like 5, 10, 20 different accounts just so they control and talk shit to people. It's so pathetic. It's so cowardly. I've never, ever had a fake account. I can honestly say that. I could show you, like I said, you can really press the thing and it drops down your Instagram accounts. I bet some people I bet they'd shit themselves. You ask them to show you. You'd be like, hang on a minute, you've got 30 fake accounts there, mate. You've got one real account and 20 fake accounts. And I tell you what, I know for certain there's actually quite a few pros that have fake accounts as well, and also their partners as well. So yeah, and I know that for certain. Oh, this is in Milan. We went to Milan last weekend.
Yeah, you got some great pictures. I just want to share a couple because I've never been to Milan.
Food.
Look at that. What is that? A veal cutlet or something?
It was I think, was it chicken or turkey? I can't remember what it was. It's beautiful. It's absolute. That I would say Italy has got the best food on the planet. I've not to. It's. I mean, everywhere else I've been, every time I've been to Italy, Italy is the best food. But Milan was absolutely stunning. But like that wine as well was just like my eyes were rolling into my head. It was absolutely beautiful. It was incredible. Oh, man. So yeah, so I can't wait to go back. Actually, there's Lauren with her Prada bag there. She treated herself after passing her accountant's exam finally because her mum and her boss said, "Look, you need to treat yourself. That's a huge. You got your to pass that ACCA final accountant's exam." I said He said, that's a huge thing. You need to really treat yourself. So she did. And she went and spent, well, I won't even say what she spent on this bloody Prada bag in the Prada shop. But she did it. So she was all happy. So that's the Duomo. That's the Duomo.
What's a Duomo?
It's like a big churchy thing. It is colossal. And it was so hot there as well. It was like 30-something degrees. So I was absolutely melting. So, yeah, beautiful place. Beautiful place. Yeah. Look at that. Italy's the most stylish place. I think that's the most stylish country on this planet.
Well, I mean, isn't that where most of the designers come from? The Versace and the Gucci and all that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, they're all there. They're all in that shopping thing. There was Gucci and we saw the House of Gucci place as well. And yeah, all that bollocks.
Well, now we're back to Ronnie. Okay, you haven't done too much posting. All right, so this is an actual account, Giles_Tiger. It's not a fake troll account. Mm-hmm. Just one last thing about the fake accounts that puzzles me. I don't know if you have an answer for this. I see that they have 0 posts and no picture, and it will say following, which shows how many they follow. It'll be a few hundred, sometimes thousands, whatever. But then it says followed by, and there'll be a few hundred people following them. Like, what? They don't have any posts or anything. What are they following?
People just automatically, when they've been followed, they automatically press follow back. And in fact, since that Andrew Jack and the Ronnie posts and the ones I've done still from the tour, I'm picking up 100 followers a day this week. Oof. So I've gone up, point something, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, I've picked 100 followers every single day for the last, I think, 4 or 5 days. And that's from the Ronnie tour, like 2-3 weeks ago.
That brings up one final point about Instagram and followers that I'm going to ask the viewers this question. I have been at a pathetic 29.9K followers for years. It never changes. And I keep seeing so-and-so following. Like, I don't average 100 new followers a day, but I probably get between 5 and 20. It varies depending.
Yeah.
So after a show, I'll get sometimes 30 to 50 new followers every day for a few days, but the number never changes. It's always 29.9. I'm like, you'd think it would go down a little sometimes if people are unfollowing, or up sometimes, but it never changes.
Yeah.
It just seems really strange to me. So anyone who has an explanation, I've been told, oh, you need to clear your Instagram cache and down, you have to delete the app and then reinstall it. It just seems really strange.
Can we bother with that bullshit?
Luckily for me, I'm not living and dying by my own Instagram followers. Thank goodness.
Yeah, if you look at my like I said, that post, I haven't posted anything since Ronnie joined, since that one post. Like I'm not that consistent with it. The last couple of weeks I've posted pretty much, a couple of stories and one post, I think, on my main Instagram. And I kind of go through cycles where I just can't be bothered with it. And I think that's good as well, even though I spend a lot of time on it. In fact, I waste so much of my life on scrolling on social media. I wish that is something I really, really need to address, actually, because it's something that really I could be so much more productive with my time. This is the post. Have a look at that. Click on that.
I wanted to go to the beginning of it. So
go to that post, right, and click on where it says like, and it'll show you how many views.
Okay.
Can you bring up on the main post or?
Yeah, well, I want to show people. So this was the most famous post.
Yep.
Giles was in Amsterdam with Ronnie Coleman as part of the tour, and they were at the Euro Muscle Show.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. I spoke to Ronnie as well. He wants to do another tour.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He wants to do another tour, so I'm putting the feelers out. And I said, well, when? And he says, well, the last quarter of the year. He says, I've only got a couple of engagements. He said, so I said, what, this year? And he went, yeah. I was like, mate, because to be honest, if I could get the bookings, I would just tour with Ronnie nonstop, because he's so easy to tour with, and he's so pleasant and so Like he's such a joy. He's so famous, and it makes for really incredible experiences when you're with someone that has that level of fame. Like when you're at airports and stuff like that. I mean, it's almost incomprehensible. Actually, it transcends bodybuilding completely. He's you know, and you get nothing but positivity when you're around him as well from other people, because they just love him. You know, he's so well loved, Ronnie. I don't think there's anyone quite like him on the planet actually in this industry that is that well loved. You know, that was Amsterdam. Yeah,
I would say the only rivals like Lee Haney and Jay Cutler, but I've been around all three of them, and Ronnie by far gets the most love.
Not even close. Sorry, no. And I love Jay and I love Lee Haney, but they're not even close to the level. No. You know, I mean, if Lee Haney went to an airport, what's the chances that he would be recognized? Very, very slim. But Jay Cutler maybe a quarter as much as Ronnie. But I mean, look at that. I mean, it's quite an experience actually. It's quite addictive actually as well when you're around there. That's Andrew. This was Andrew 3 weeks ago, and I'm telling you what, this video does not do him justice, because in the flesh, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He looked amazing. And you know what? He's such an approachable guy, Andrew. Because I went up and he was training, and I was training myself, and I just went up and I said, "Hey, Andrew, hey, Giles, I know you, I know your face." And I was like, I'll talk later. I said, I'm not interested. He wanted to all stop and chat, and I'm like, he was training, and he's like only like what 4-5 weeks out from a show, and I was like, no, I'm not going to disturb you. Plus, I need to train as well. So he was like, but he was willing to like kind of stop and chat for a while, you know. But yeah, what a cool guy. And I love William Bonac as well. He's a cool dude as well. Yeah. Decent guy, really, really decent. Look at the sides of Andrew's shoulders there. Just zoom in on that, mate. Woo. Look at that. Jeez. He's a beast. He's put some size on, mate. I'm telling you. And if that really, really translates to the stage, if he clearly looks 8 to 10 pounds heavier, he's. I've got a feeling he's going to be the one that's moving up at the Olympia this year, mate. I'm telling you that now. Oh, this video is just. Yeah. I could cry watching this video every time I look at it. The response. You know, I mean, if you haven't got the sound on this, but when everyone started chanting and screaming,
hang on, I can.
That's me going, wow. It was crazy, Ron. It was crazy. Ronnie. Look at Ronnie's loving it.
Wow.
Place was full out. And like I said, they tried to get a bigger theatre a few days before because they could have sold more tickets. They actually she said we could have sold probably another 150 tickets. She says, but there was 470 seats in that place. She said, and they sold out like 5-6 days before. She said, and we did try to get a bigger theatre, but there wasn't one available. So
I think I need to clarify, because a lot of people watching probably won't realize they probably think, well, this was a bodybuilding show and Ronnie just came to do a seminar during some. Those people bought tickets. This was specifically an event just to meet Ronnie and ask questions and hear him. This was a standalone event. These people are all there purely for Ronnie, correct?
Just for Ronnie. Just for Ronnie. Just for Ronnie. And the tickets weren't cheap either.
And this is Hungary. This is, you know, who would think in Hungary, Ronnie Coleman, who's been retired for almost 20 years.
I know.
He's still so relevant. He's still so popular. People.
And you know the weird thing? I kind of don't get it. Honestly, I know it sounds. I'm a huge bodybuilding fan, and I understand how amazing these people. But it's like it kind of never fails to shock me just how popular. But like, the thing is, he's got such a good team that manages a lot of his social media now. Like he told the story of when he was at it was an airport or something, and this little kid went up to him and he says, "Look, Mummy, it's the TikTok guy." So do you know what I mean? It shows you, like, and they're constantly putting out content on all those social media platforms. Yeah. So a lot of his kind of resurgence, he does credit to like social media. You know, this is all the mention.
100%. YouTube is why the young generation knows who he is. YouTube.
Yeah, and all the clips and all the the yeah buddy and all that and catchphrase and stuff like that. But I mean, I've got people nagging me to have him back. Do you know what I mean? They're like, so I'm just trying to, if I could piece it together this year. See, the thing is, if I get this surgery on my shoulder, that's going to be in November. I ain't going anywhere for about 2 months after that. So I'm going to have to do them in the next 3 months, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to have to get my ass working on this, you know? But, yeah, look at that chair. That chair was bought especially for that. And then Ronnie signed the chair, and then they put the rope around it and had it in the gym as a permanent fixture.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Cool. It was cool. Very cool.
I mean, I wonder how well a tour of his would do in the U.S. because I feel like the U.S. fans are just sort of jaded. They're not as appreciative of our own athlete.
You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked.
I don't know, but I'd be so happy. I'd be thrilled to see Ronnie get a reception like that here in the U.S., his own country.
Yeah, I love that Ronnie bus. That was cool.
The Ronnie Mercedes mobile. Oh, goodness gracious.
So cool. So cool. Oh, I just wish I could do it all over again, because see, the biggest problem with these tours, I had it with Wesley and also the Ronnie tours, when I come back, I kind of come down to the earth with a thud. And I think what I need to do is I need to have like 2 or 3 tours lined up, because when I come back, you go from such a high and you're like on such a, like, it's such an immersive experience. It's nonstop. It's just incredible to like, oh, what now? You know? Yeah. So I need, if I do it like a tour that big, I need to go straight on holiday and literally just go lie on a beach for a week and just kind of take it all in, because it's so stimulating, and it's a high I don't think I could replicate with drugs. Do you know what I mean? And it really it's a high I can't even explain. And also it's stressful as well, because there's a lot of things that could go wrong. So it's like your brain's working on such a high level for like that week or 8 days or whatever. You come back and then you're staring at the wall like, what the fuck do I do now? So this is something I need to work on, or I need to get something to fill those gaps, because it's happened twice now, from the Wesley tour and the Ronnie tour, where I come back and it's almost like I get depressed. Like for like a few days, I'm just like, I wake up in the morning and it's like, well, what am I doing now? You know, because it's weird, because the thing is, you know, you're always craving the next one. So so I got quite a lot of live streams coming up as well. Got Sweden, Hungary, Romania, Austria at the end of this month. Where else? And you need to get onto it, Ron. You need to get onto this live stream. Start reaching out to all those show promoters, and get onto them and start pursuing that, mate. Because you could do well on that, mate. That could be a good way to utilize your knowledge and your abilities, and also good for networking, like I said last week, mate. Yeah, I mean, I love doing these shows, and I appreciate you being part of the shows, but I feel like I can be doing more on the media side like I used to, because it's my life. I've been in the industry like you for my entire adult life. Yeah. This is all I know. I'm good at it, and I don't really know how to do much else. So me too. That's the problem, you know? Yeah. So all right, man. We've had a great show. I appreciate it, Giles. Follow Giles at Giles_Tiger. I got my Instagram up there, unfortunately, because I'm lazy like that. But anyway, that is it. So guys, check out Texas Pro this weekend. I'll be doing wrap up on Saturday. So keep your notification bells on. You'll know when those happen. And that's it. Thank you, Giles. Thank you, viewers. We'll see you right here on Power Hour next time.